So today we're going to test out the new tilt system. I keep calling it a trim system. It is not a trim system. I mean, it might be eventually, but right now it's not. So we have a 2-inch actuator off of a custom bracket that then bolts to the original engine bracket. Now I run this unlocked, but this is very stout. It doesn't give me any flex at all. We're going to find out under power what it does, but you can see that that blade is completely out of the water. What's nice about it, it's a fast actuator. So I'll show you what that looks like and then I'll explain the rest to you guys. Like, it pushes that motor very quickly. That's it. Now what's nice about this also is that the lockout, that's as far as it goes. So it's built to where the lockout brings the engine all the way down to the mount. Because let me tell you, these little actuators will break that mount if you set it up wrong. So anyway, this particular one has shields on the drive tube. Okay, I usually do that just for the visual purpose of, not getting any kind of sunlight when the fish are around. Also changed out the tiller to carbon fiber. That's, again, lightens the weight, not by much, but it holds up real nice as salt. And of course, I have my stick control, my extended remote start, easy peasy. So here's the question everybody keeps asking me. Now, I changed this around because the other one kind of shorted out, the other setup that is. This is a voltage regulator using a 20-volt DeWalt battery. So it is set at 12 volts. That's connected now to an on and off switch on the side here. And then, of course, right here is a 3-way switch. So in a nutshell, you have full control of this. Now, there is aluminum padding on the bottom just for vibration. Probably doesn't do nothing on it anyway. It's just sound deadening material. But this really works well. So we have up and we have down. Now you got to be careful on the up, because if you run a locked tiller, it will definitely ding up that tiller. What I mean by that is up here. So right here, sometimes the tiller can run without articulating. I'm sorry, being too close there. Be careful with that. You don't really need to go high, only because you just need to get the prop above the hull. All right, hopefully you guys can see this at a distance. This is going down. And you can see the joint right there is what I'm talking about. If that arm is straight, you got to make sure you have some form of articulation in there. You'll see. Now we're going to go up. Now watch, you see there? They push, push, push. That motor's fully out of the water. Main prop, that is. And then we go. That works. Up and down is no problem. Again, you'll see right here, if I can get real close here. Normally this would lock right here. This bracket will kind of wrap 180 degrees and lock right here to keep it from pivoting up. This thing is going nowhere. I did keep that a little more loose than normal, just so I can articulate side to side as I pull it out of the water when I get close to shore. And that's kind of it for the moment, man. We're going to run this thing and see what we got. I definitely am curious to see if this thing trims, but we'll see. This is the actual front mount that I use for an anchor. This is actually another motor mount right here that I use with a carbon fiber 28mm drive tube. And it's connected to my chain, which I'll show you guys if I pull this thing up. I use typical like gate chain for this. Let me show you guys. Hang on, sorry about the flip-flopping. So this is what I use right here. That's so much better than a grappling hook. You don't tear the bottom up, and you can kind of just drag if you need to, depending on how much weight you have on it. But yeah, man, all good to go there. You'll see on my K-Craft here the custom mount through the actual hull using nutserts. This thing's going nowhere. It's 1/4-inch aluminum plate, piece of 2x4. That's all I need. Don't need to spend $300 on those tricky advanced ones. So there we go, guys. We're going to run this thing, get some speed, and then pull this thing out of the water coming in and see how it works. All right, so everything right now feels normal. Engine articulation feels good. Speed feels good. Well, I haven't punched it yet, but this is running the new version 3 drive, which is a lot smoother. So we're going to see what this thing can do, and then check out that tilt and see if it works on the fly. So we'll see. sounds healthy. Got some decent waves, no white caps today though. All right, I like it. Oh, I miss this craft, man. This thing is just, it's my go-to because it's so easy. All right, let's get some numbers here, guys. Hang tight. Let's see what we got. All right, so we're gonna reset this. All right, we're at 0. It's gonna go right there. So we are at 0. No miles, no nothing. So let's see what we got. Now we're going into current, so mind you, this tilt system sets it at about neutral. So I'm not lifting the bow, I'm not sinking the bow, but I will try to trim it. So right now we are at about 3.23. That's only on click 1. Here we go. Oh, that sounds so good. 5.7. That is not even struggling with this new drive. .8. It's hard to tell when you're going in to current. I have nothing to measure it against. All right, I'm gonna slowly ramp it up. 6.0. 6.2. Right above 6, 6.2. All right, I'm not even gonna waste that last click, kind of pointless. You can hear it. Max speed 6.6. I would beg to differ, I would say 6.2. Now going the other way, it may be different. Tide is coming in from low tide. So it's rocking. So I'm gonna turn this thing around in a minute. So right there, if you guys can see it, 6.6, that's probably coming off a trough. Average speed, again 5, because I'm just chilling right now. All right, we're gonna flip this joker around. Now I'm gonna try, once I do that, I'll trim it up a little bit. See if I can lift the nose up to get more speed. Not supposed to do it, but, well, if it breaks, it breaks. I got a paddle. All right, so hopefully I can get this recorded with no issues. There's the engine, guys, as it sits, nice and purty. So we'll run this thing in a minute, and, well, I say run, we'll trim it in a second. I'm gonna flip the other way around. I gotta see what this thing can do. Getting tired of holding my paddle, so I'm gonna put that on the side. Back in a second. All right, so let me get my feet out of the way here. So there's our 0. We're gonna reset this again. Again, got some good speed out of it. Reset the counters. All right, it's starting over. Now we're gonna go with current. Again, mind you, neutral position on the engine. You have each movement on the bottom end where you adjust the bracket is 7 degrees. So you can kind of pick and choose. You don't want to put a lot of stress on the transoms. There's really no reason to lift the bow because these are, once they break friction, they roll, man. All right, we're gonna flip this joker. Not literally. All right, other way now. We're at 6.1. Got a little more room on the throttle. High fives. 5.5s. So I would say true speed on this, because I got a feeling we're being pushed off on the troughs. Yeah, you're looking at probably 5.9 to be very honest and accurate. Now we're going with 5 right there. I'm only on second click, well, technically third click. All right, so hopefully you guys can see this, but you're going to imagine if you're getting pushed to a shoulder, you need to pull that motor. There we go. Out of the water. Back down. All right, so I'm going to tilt this up a little bit. I'm curious. I don't know what that degree is. Down we go. And remember, you got to articulate that joint, because that joker will break that bracket if you're not paying attention. So that's it. Motor's drop's pretty much sitting there. Definitely above the hole. So I'm going to bring this back all the way down and then just up a little bit. All right, let's see what happens. No AI film here. It breaks the brakes, man. Motor will go to the bottom. Just kidding. All right, let's rip. So I would say like we got 5.9s. Oh yeah, let me reset one more time, guys. Bear with me. We are reset. Trims up a little bit, probably 5 degrees, if not more. All right, we're gonna turn this thing around. I don't know how the bracket will hold up, being that we're forcing it now. I don't know. We're gonna find out. I gotta assume if you don't jam on it. All right. Ooh, that sounds good. That sounds really good. Oh, shit. It seems like it was a lot easier getting its butt moving. With a little bit of trim. And I said I wasn't gonna do it. All right, here we go. Let's see if this will kick off here, but it might not, it may not. All I can tell you, that little trim, man. So what I think I may do is lift the engine up a little bit and let it rest on the bracket versus trimming it. But then again, I don't know. It just feels smooth. Whew. That nose is butt digging, man. All right, so obviously the wind's picking up here. Let's get this again, because we definitely didn't do 17 miles an hour. Let's reset again. Yep. The troughs are getting bigger. Five. But it actually sounds good. Like it's smooth. Lost a little of the burble. 5.9. Even the cruise, like I said, the cruise is quite nice on this. That's with it trimmed up. I'm gonna leave that trim. I got it, well, actually not leave it. I gotta lift it up anyway when I take it out of the water. But yeah, definitely noticeable. So I'm gonna bring back the mount, one of the settings. All right, I'm gonna see if this mount breaks. Sorry, hang in there. Now we are in 6s now. What the hell, man? We're not wide open. We're 6.4. So it definitely does help lifting it a little bit. Wow. I can totally feel the difference. So yeah, it needs to go back one more angle adjustment on the rear. funny is that? So we're 5.5. We actually lost a little bit. All right, up it goes. All right, it's trimmed back up again. Wow, I'm already feeling it. Now we're going with current, but less vibration and cavitation bubbles. It's not working as hard. So it's definitely one more adjustment. We're at max is 6.1. Yeah, we're definitely in the high fives all day. So yeah, we're cruising in. Top speed 6.4. I would say 5.9s to 6.1, 6.2. That's wide open. Now on the way back in, which I wasn't filming, man, I ran into something and it literally stopped me in my tracks. I don't know what the hell it was, a log or something. It jolted that engine real bad. I turned it down and kept going, but everything is intact. Engine's not in the water. But that was a little weird. All right, so we're gonna go back in and do a full tilt up. What's nice about it, you just, again, leave it on and up or down. It's all powered, no problem. So I'm just kind of cruising in here, but I'm gonna pull that engine right now. I'd be curious to see how this thing responds. Look at that. Yep, we're good. Up, down it goes. All right. I'd be really curious to see what damage it did to the bottom of that motor. If it did any, I don't know. I don't know what it hit, but man, it hit hard. There's no damage, man, but I hit something good. I mean, I can't see the backside. Let's see if I can feel anything. Little scrapes. So there's the mount once again. And this is what I was telling you guys earlier. That can be adjusted out one more. And that was it, man. That was good stuff. Yep. Solidly bolted to the bolts as well back here. Again, that plate had to be created, and that's a 2-inch actuator only. Everything's aluminum or stainless. And yeah, man, that's it. We are golden. Good stuff. That was a definite boo-boo. That's gonna come out. It was hanging me up. And then I need to trim this because, as you can see, it's got quite a bit of excess. And there you go. Not a fan of that regulator, but whatever. It works.